Council meeting to order on Thursday, October 12th, 2017 at 7 o'clock at Alburnett City Hall. We have a motion. Dave motioned it. We have a second.
I'll second it.
Chester seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carried. This one be short a couple tonight.
Yeah, Charlie did send a note. He went home sick today. He didn't think he'd make it tonight.
Okay. Go ahead and open public hearing.
Do you need a motion, sir?
Yep.
I'll make a motion, we open the public hearing in chapter 43 golf councils, city of Alburnett.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Chester seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Discussion, comments, or questions from the public?
I'll oppose it.
No opposing? Okay.
I think the people getting hurt, they're driving up and down Main Street, parking on Main Street now with them. I think it's a good idea.
That is a concern.
Can I make a comment?
Go ahead.
My name's Todd Wagner. You know, there's a lot of other communities that do have golf cart ordinances. It's my understanding that they're not legal on Main Street. Is that correct?
It's state law.
Okay. And I understand the safety concern. You know, I guess I don't look at it too much different than somebody riding a motorcycle up and down the street. I mean, I don't know that you're less safe on a golf cart than you are a motorcycle. You know, and I understand the expense side of it, but it's my understanding that you guys have done all the legal work to have an ordinance written. So the expense is already there. Would that be a correct statement?
Partially true.
Charlie wrote a lot of it.
Oh, okay. So, and I don't know. I'm new
Yeah,
to the community,
just
so,
follow
and I'm kind of
state
new to
law.
this. You know, I mean, I'm obviously here in support of it, and I hope that you guys would pass it. There are a lot of little communities, I think, that do have it, and I think they do okay with it. And I don't know that there's been safety issues or accidents, but I think that's something that, you know, will be addressed by our law enforcement, just like it is now. And I understand the safety concern, but I think they're convenient. I think they're, you know, there's less pollution. I know they won't be used that much, but it would be nice to be able to use them. That's just a personal opinion.
Somebody else?
Can I make a comment? I guess I'd like to comment. I think that we should take a good hard look at doing away with the ordinance that we have now and not have one at all. Let them abide by the state law. That way then we won't have anybody issuing anybody licenses. We don't have all the other who's got it, who don't got it, all that other stuff. And we seem to be able to get by all right. We've been going all summer, and I haven't heard of any problems. So that's my thought on the thing. Let it go by the state law, abide by the state law. Go with that.
Oh, my phone was on. I have the same kind of opinion here. We already have an ordinance, and golf carts are still prevalent. Not prevalent, but are still being used in that. I don't know, the ordinance is a good thing, but my personal opinion is we need to, I mean, we've had, what, one person here, or maybe two, that are talking about it, one in it and one against. I would think that if they knew we were having a public hearing about the golf carts, there'd be more response. That's just my opinion. I mean, we already have an ordinance. I kind of see where Chester's going with this. Let's just remove all our liability from it and let the state ordinance take over, kind of like we do with a lot of our, building codes? We use the state mandate building codes.
Traffic laws for vehicles.
I mean, I'm just,
We know it's state, but we use.
we use federal or whatever it
No,
is.
well,
It's
building code is the same
national,
as.
national, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what, well, Marion
Right.
adopted in
Right.
Hiawatha, or Robinson adopted.
So that's where I'm going with it, I mean, I can see, I mean,
I think it's an international building code or state building code.
yeah, national building code. So, I have a tendency to kind of agree with Chester. Putting an ordinance in is great idea, just, is it gonna get enforced? That's my, we already got one, is it being enforced?
You have council members now drive around town with golf carts, on the golf carts, that you don't listen to rules. And it's only gonna get worse.
I'd like to just say that I'm for the ordinance. There's a lot more golf carts in town now, so I think we should get an ordinance and we can get some regulations and maybe enforce it a little bit, I don't know, see what happens, but I am for the ordinance.
You've got law enforcement right here, that deals with a lot of towns in this county. Maybe it'd be time to ask him, how many times do you issue a citation on a golf cart ordinance? That you're, I mean,
I've
you
issued-
personally, I know it's probably
I've
just you.
issued 0.
Bingo.
I go back to, I know of one accident off the top of my head, and that involved alcohol and another gentleman. I'm in trouble for speaking out of turn. You know, it's difficult sometimes for us, because somebody said every town has an ordinance, and it's somewhat different, and so it's who can do what. You know, most of them are doing the flag and a slow moving sign and the permit on there and things like that. You know, it's one of those things, I guess, you know, how many people have a cart? You're gonna have to look at that, you know, or already have a cart. Or are they grandfathered in or something like that? And, you know, it's been going along all summer. I mean, I've seen a few, but the ones I've seen have kind of abided by that. There's a flag and a slow moving vehicle on it, so Main Street is, oh, they can't go up and down it, they go across it or something to get from one point to the other, but it's something you're gonna have to decide on, you know. I would check out the other towns, see how much troubles they've had.
What is state law?
Actually, our ordinance, Charlie's pretty much followed state law.
Most of them.
I think he
most
put a
of them.
couple extra little things in there.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what they were. Wish he was here tonight. We probably won't move on. I'm gonna suggest we don't move on it tonight because the fact we got 2 people missing.
Mr. Chair, may I make a comment? I think we should go to a second and third reading on that.
Right. Wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean,
And then
it's only
Charlie
fair.
could explain to us what he did take from state code and what.
I
Right,
mean,
right, he's more in tune with it.
Yeah, I
so.
mean, he's the one that wrote it and kind of followed the state code, so.
Why don't you have a vote of the people? We just all vote in town, say yes or no, and at that, you got it decided.
You could do that.
Could do
You'd
that.
have to hold
it'd
it.
have to be not until November
This-
7th, because
No,
you
you
want
just
to,
do a door-to-door vote.
a door-to-door vote, I didn't know if that was legal.
Why not?
Like Dave
I'm
said,
asking.
the
I
more
don't know.
people were interested, I would've thought they would've showed up to
I would,
Well, a lot of people didn't, who know, I guess, I found out at the last minute.
It was
I didn't-
published in the paper, it was posted in the
I don't-
minutes,
I don't-
and
yeah.
yeah.
I don't get the paper either.
Yeah, we even
I mean,
did the
you know,
publishing in the paper for the
But I
public.
think,
Oh, go ahead, sir.
I would just think, I think we ought to just postpone it, wait till, close the public hearing and table it till next month. Go to
Yeah,
second
because I'd like to
reading.
have Charlie's
Yeah,
explanation.
second reading.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Mr. Mayor, I would move that we close the hearing and set a date for the second hearing.
Okay, I'll do that. Do we have a second? Steve saying all those in favor,
Aye.
motion.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
You wanna set the date or
Yes.
Next council meeting.
next?
Can we, I want to pause,
Yeah.
let's let him go
Yep.
so he can get going, because you
Sure.
might be,
This is interesting, I never make it this far. Thank you. Deputy Jim Tindall, Lake County Sheriff's Office, report for city, required hours are 43, hours reported in September were 81.1. Normal looking, calls for service. I don't think we need any.
Calls of service, oh, it's 81.
24 total calls for service,
Oh,
81
call for
hours.
service, yeah.
81 hours put in through the
I have a
required
question
time.
for you.
Yes, sir.
How often do you do bar checks in a month, or a month? Does it vary?
It varies.
Just varies on what, oh, maybe I'll stop in and check tomorrow.
Mhm.
Okay, that's all I was wondering. I
Yeah,
saw you have one bar check.
There's a couple of bar checks, and, you know, one's at 10 something, what did you guys say?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
I just was,
11:20
I'm just curious if there was a set, which is good, because, okay, he's been here twice, he's not gonna come back.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
just random,
Okay.
you know, so, like I work 2 to 10, you know, I can try to get the 5 o'clock crowd, but I'm usually busy doing something else, but, you know, it's just kinda random.
Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, you're free to go.
Just
Thank you.
FYI, if you have any questions, Major Colston's out of the office for a little while, so, Major Hanson will be taking the questions in a little while.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks
Have a good night.
much.
Thank you for all your information.
Oh, I'm sorry, any concerns? No?
I don't think so.
Have a good night.
Ready to go. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and set the date for the second public hearing. Probably next
Next council meeting,
meeting, the November
9th.
9th.
The 7th is election on a Tuesday.
Okay. We have a motion for that?
I move we set the second open public hearing, second public hearing on golf cart, November 9th
Okay.
at 7 o'clock. Thank you.
I'll second it.
Charlie, Chester seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we'll go to second. We'll skip the ordinance then. And number 4, go ahead and look at approval of the agenda.
I got. Portion.
I'm not done yet.
We have Kirkwood, we have an EMT class for Laura Proper. $1,387. Now, did she pass or she has to take a test?
She's in the middle class.
Oh, okay. And then we have Guy Trimble, and this was his mileage when he was at conferences week Monday. He took water sample to Waterloo and went from Waterloo to Dubuque to the conference and then came back. This is mileage from here to Waterloo to Dubuque. And then TJ brought in, he bought a helmet light for training.
Anything about it?
So did you want him to do this or do you want to wait on it? Yeah, he billed it, he said he had it for training one night. And I don't know if these were the ones you wanted to buy or if these were something. Okay, we won't worry about it, you're not gonna do it. Okay,
Then spend money.
we just got 2.
Make a motion we approve the consent agenda with the addition of those 3 bills?
Two.
Two bills.
Okay. No second.
I'll second it.
Chester second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Public appearances. Lynn County Sheriff is gone. Steve, you're up with the fire department.
We made 8 calls in September. We have 2 medical in the city, 4 football standbys. Gonna walk through training at the elevator. We want us to go through everything. Then we had the PR homecoming parade. I'm almost done working on getting the stuff for that grant for that guy. I'm waiting on the bid for the Cascade system. October 23rd, they're gonna come and do our ISO rating in the fire department. So guys, they meet me down there at 4:30. think 28th is that take back initiative where the sheriff comes and they pick up prescription drugs for free.
Oh,
They're gonna do that again this year. They did it last year and had quite a response.
where's that gonna be?
That's fire station.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the 28th. I wrote it down at work and I forgot to grab it today. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 28th.
Are they there in the evening or what, or is it just,
It's like a Saturday, and it's from like, I don't know.
Let me know
Just
now.
for a couple hours?
Yeah, from like 9 to 1 or something to 2, or I don't. I wrote down my calendar at work and I haven't.
Yeah, let me know and I'll have Kelly put it on the website when we make signs or something.
That's a Saturday?
Yeah, it'll be Saturday.
You're waiting for bids for what?
Is that-
Cascades?
Yeah.
You wanna do it? Anything else? Yeah, okay, Matt, you're up.
I apologize, I didn't have an update tonight for you, but our project is, I call it substantially complete, which is basically everything's done. And it's almost final complete, I guess, but I just wanted to kind of do one last walkthrough and make sure we got everything cleaned up, I guess. But you know, the seating's obviously been done. Last pieces of concrete have all been poured, so it's really based on what our plans called for. It's essentially done. I did get the final quantities from Boris Brothers, and I got it just on Tuesday. I'm still trying to confirm a few things here still, so I don't pay it tonight because I wanted to make sure some of these quantities are right. So, and I need a few things I need to go with Guy, and a few bills. I know that.
Yeah, did they
Sweet.
take the 400 off for the sweeping?
I don't see it on here, so that's one of them I wanna make
Yeah.
sure is taken out, so. Really, I think they're done, except for final paperwork and the final payment. I don't know if they wasn't able to get it all done for tonight. I don't know if it's possible to have a special meeting between next week or two before, so we don't have to let them wait until
Right.
next month, but,
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that.
yeah.
If we wanted to do that, we could probably do that.
Yeah, I mean, the final one, well, we'll have to go through it takes a little longer, just you have to do a motion for substantial, final, and go kind of, it'll be a final change order, and, but yeah, it shouldn't take too long to go through, but, and if there's any other
Wait,
comments from people on the street there, I'd like to get those.
wait, just,
Shouldn't we have, are we gonna have a final walkthrough before? this
Guy
month?
already did it, but
I,
I thought we were all going to.
yeah, and I, if we wanna do that, I'd like
It'd
to
be nice
get,
to do it,
I'd
yeah.
like to do that before that final meeting, just so I
Right,
can
that
get-
was my thought.
Yeah,
That was my thought.
yeah.
Would this be something that if we schedule this meeting to do the walkthrough and then the request to make the payment?
yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Is that what you're talking about doing, Matt, or what was
We
your-
could, but then if we did find anything, we would have to prove it.
But you're talking about
contingent.
doing something in the next, like, not this week, but next week, aren't you?
Yeah, and I've kind of already walked through it on both sides of the street. I haven't seen anything, but sometimes the homeowners see things in their yard that I don't see because they look at it every day. But I guess I would like to have I'd rather have a walkthrough before that final meeting, just in case there is something that we want the contractor to fix before we do close the project out.
When, well, you wanna schedule something for like Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, we could do a walkthrough and then like a meeting on Thursday. Would that give you enough time?
Yeah, that should be enough. And I mean, quantities, I should be able to work out through today or tomorrow and Monday probably, but, you wouldn't, I guess if you had a quorum, you'd have to,
Yeah, we can post it. And actually, maybe then if the homeowners have something they wanna come out and talk about.
yeah, that's there's still a 1-year warranty and everything, so if something starts settling, you know, the contractor will still have to come out and fix those items, but I'd like to get if there are some issues out there that we don't know about, like here and now, get it fixed now, it's a little easier, but.
What's the great thing, Monday or Tuesday?
It's not gonna matter to
I
me.
mean, yeah, you could arrange, you'll be there, and if not, you're gonna be gone.
Yeah, we
So-
probably won't be there, yeah.
Bring your truck down through there.
What
Let's
time
go
are you
Saturday.
having?
Let's
That's
go
what caused
Saturday.
I don't know yet.
Oh.
Let's do it Saturday.
You guys do it whenever, if I can break away, I will.
Let's-
But
yeah,
that's, make it most convenient.
But what time? I'd assume, what, 4:35, 4?
Make sure you're off work, I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's
Yeah,
volleyball
make sure.
that night, regional volleyball,
Monday?
so, on Tuesday.
Monday.
Tuesday,
Okay, we're
okay,
talking
so we're
maybe
talking
Monday.
Monday, okay.
Monday, yeah,
Let's try
it's not
Monday.
good, yeah, I'll do Monday then.
Let's do
Okay.
Monday, and maybe what time was work for you, Steve?
Or 5 is fine.
Five.
Well,
Five.
5, and then most homeowners will be home by then.
Yeah.
5 or 5:30? Wanna make it 5:30?
That works.
Let's go 5:30.
Most
That
homeowners
gives
should be
us,
home by
give
then.
them, give everybody more time.
Me to call Matt, keep you on.
That's for a walkthrough guy.
Yep.
5:30.
And I'll
And then,
get hold of the guy and go over a few things, on final quantities, make sure that we're in agreement before we pay him. But that way we could, one more time, go through their numbers and then still get the payment approved before next month.
okay.
Okay.
So then we wanna set a meeting for Thursday night? Will they have volleyball or anything?
Yeah, I think even if they win, I'm not sure that they would play Thursday. And it's pretty unlikely that they'd win on Come on, I shouldn't be so negative, but,
That is your daughter, you know.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I hope they do, let's put it that way.
Well, we could
but-
have it early
I
enough
actually
that,
think
we
it's
could
like
have
the
it
next
early.
Tuesday, I think is the next.
Yeah, I think they'd skip a few days,
I
so
think
I,
it's like another week before they play again, but.
yeah, so I think that's
I
fine.
don't- Usually it might even be a Saturday.
Yeah, it might be Saturday, yeah, very possible. They won't go on Friday because football's still going on, but very possible it could be Saturday, so.
We could probably hold it, what, 5 o'clock, 6? I mean, a little earlier, I know, I'm here.
It's a 7-day forecast.
Yeah.
And we don't have to have it at late at night. It's
Yeah,
just gonna
it
be a
wouldn't
quick,
take
it'll
much.
be a quick meeting.
It should be a quick one, yeah, especially if we don't have any other thing on the agenda.
So,
You want Zach here that night, probably, the final,
It's up to him, yeah, we could ask him, he
I mean,
probably,
if he wants to bring the final, would he have final ready then?
well, he sent the
This
final,
final,
yeah,
okay.
unless there's something else that he.
Okay.
did.
I suppose we could notify him or something. for
Obvious.
early things.
Obviously, if you find some discrepancy, that's gonna be hashed out before.
Before that, yep. So I don't think he'll, we
No,
can
I'm
invite
just-
him, but I don't think he'll probably, as long as we're, you know, Guy, myself, we're all kind of in agreement on quantities, I don't think
Okay.
there'll be too much issue with him, but. Yeah, it should be a quick meeting on Thursday.
We'll finalize our project on Thursday.
what time you want to work, guys?
It don't matter, when 5, 6, or 7, it don't matter, whatever you wanna do.
Let's go 5 o'clock. Good.
Live next Thursday.
5 next Thursday.
So Monday's what time?
5:30.
5:30.
And 5 o'clock on the meeting.
Yeah, I guess if you hear anything before that, let me know. I just saw a few things up there today, and the guy already probably took care of one of them, sounded like, or.
Well, I'm working on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just take the pay applications for now?
Yeah. So I'll get Sharon the agenda items for Thursday then,
Yeah.
for final payment and, completion.
Change order and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. At this time, anybody wishing to speak?
Couple things. Back to this thing about the state law, could you post a copy of that or have a copy available so they knew what they're arguing about for this cart law?
We'd have to ask Charlie where he got it, or,
We're just
You know,
we're
I'm just-
opposed to our ordinance that we're trying to pass.
yeah, he's talking.
No, I'm
said
just
to
saying.
skip our ordinance. and
No,
let
I'm
it
just
stay, but
saying, though.
He made some changes to ours, ours is not identical.
That's what I'm
to
saying,
state.
if we just, we're talking
Yeah.
about our ordinance,
Yeah,
just
he's
post,
talking about state.
I know, but we'll just post our
You
ordinance.
you better
That's
let
what
Jim
we made.
speak, he's got 5 minutes here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The other thing was, the markers for our property lots, did they put them in?
Not yet. That's, we do that, our surveyors come out, and any property pin that was located before when we did the survey, we'll come back and put them back where they were.
So I think we all had them.
Well, you'd be surprised.
No, they get torn out.
Yeah.
They tore out a lot of them.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking before the project started.
Pardon?
Before the project started, they get torn out and removed sometimes.
Well,
Trust me, I look for pins a lot. There's not very many out there.
Well,
But it'll be taken care of.
Yeah.
The pins that were torn out will be put back. So, yeah, if there weren't pins there, I doubt if they'll put them in.
and then
So,
this thing on this law, how are we gonna get the information to know what we're arguing for or against for this cart law?
but you probably go look it up on the internet.
I was supposed to look it up on the internet.
Yeah. I
But
would
really,
look
it's
on
do you want them or do you not?
Yeah.
How about the people that don't have the internet? Oh, well,
Library.
The library should have the state code.
Library has state code, library has computers. We pay a fee, or we pay a fee for that use of that library.
So. Anything else? No. Okay, let's go ahead and move on then. City maintenance report.
Okay, let me get to my right part here. Well, I said last month I was gonna flush hydrants, didn't get there, getting closer. I'll have time one of these days. So that's coming up on the water. Other than that, everything's going well with the water system, no issues. We are currently discharging from the lagoons, that is going well. Should be done, I think I'll have everything moved by the end of October, which is no big deal to anybody except me, because that makes my reports easier if I get it all in 1 month. So, that makes my life a little easier. But, the things that we test for on the pre-draw and on the, after 3 days, the numbers all came back good. Everything's looking good up there. I also, the sheep are back up there. Sloan's brought the sheep back. But I did go up with the batwing and mowed, knocked down a few of the weeds that were growing and got it all evened up, and it's looking pretty good up there. I still need to put a little riprap in just a few little areas where it's kind of sank away and needs a little attention, so I'll have to touch that up either this fall yet or in the spring. I talked to rehab services at the conference at Dubuque that I was just at, and they are gonna try and get here this winter yet, or fall, to finish our manholes, but they're behind and very busy in western Iowa, so it may be spring before they come and finish us up, which really doesn't make a whole lot of difference. They'll be here as soon as they can. And so, as far as sewer system goes, I think that's it. As far as maintenance goes, Steve told me about a couple of minor fire station issues that I'll be working on, on trucks. And it's getting just about time to start thinking about getting snow equipment ready. Hopefully, we don't need that for a very, very long time, but I better be prepared, so that might be coming this month yet. As far as the parks part of the equation, I'm still planning on, I don't know if anybody noticed, but I took out the little round landscaping down by the fire station. We got that seeded, grass coming in there. Also plan on pulling the vegetation out of the landscaping that has the lion sign in it and try to get into just a more of a decorative rock, something that doesn't take a bunch of maintenance. And also the little piece across from Dave's at the intersection of Main And second, where that transformer is, I'm planning to do the same, pull the bushes, get a good layer of landscape fabric down and rock so that it's more user friendly, I guess, low maintenance. Maybe if I saved some of those 24-inch round concrete storm sections that were unusable because they were cut. Maybe I'll lay in a couple of those, cut a couple of them, and lay them in for flower pots, you know, and let the garden club just plant in those rather than actually planting in the ground and then having the bush grow out of control. So that's also on the list for this fall yet. We need to finish painting as soon as we can get the right weather back and a little bit of time with John in the field. I'm hoping maybe we can catch him while it's wet here for a day, because it takes 3 of us to paint those stripes on the outside edge of the road going in and out of town, because I gotta have somebody blocking me with a pickup and somebody sprinkling the sparkles. Are you back to work, Mayor? You are, okay. I thought about that, and then I thought.
That would've helped otherwise.
Yes, that's what I thought, and I thought, I bet he's back to work. Anyway, TJ West has offered to do that kind of stuff, just volunteered his time to do it. So since he's on the fire department, he can drive the city pickup, I'm sure, without any insurance risk. So if we strike out with John, you know, TJ could just come and be the driver, so. I got the new signs came in and I got them installed on Mood Heart. Got those put up today. I put a couple of new crosswalk signs up to replace faded ones. I got a couple more to do. When we finish painting, I need to paint crosswalk at the end of Mood Heart where we put the ramp on either side. So then I'll put up additional crosswalk signs there when that gets done. And I believe all I have left then for Mood Heart is to put no parking on the south side of the street up, and fix up the alley. That was one of the items. There were some pretty big potholes in there that I'm sure got worse from the heavier traffic going through between Mood Heart and the church parking lot. So I'll just tear it up a little bit, and I've got rock at the shop I can put down. I might put some millings on it, you know, just get it back to a smooth surface and then leave it. Other than that, I think Mood Heart's done from what we need to do, just those couple of items. And so that's all I had in general. Before we talk about sewer lining, do you have any questions on that before we go there?
Did you get your little triangles done? What'd you do?
Oh, yeah, I did. I thought they turned out okay.
I've been up there to look.
Yeah, just take a peek. I mean, it's nothing fancy, but it's better than trying to grow grass in it, and it was a learning experience as I went along, figuring out what technique was working the best. Let me put it that way, but I thought it looked okay.
Maybe you'll cover this, maybe I'm jumping the gun, but after all the work that those guys did on those manholes on Main Street, if these lining people come back, do you think they need to be inspected or maybe even redone?
Well, they won't need redone, but almost everyone that I looked in while they were working on it now has a crack in that lining where the chimney meets the top of the structure. And rehab told us that doing touch-ups is just part of their thing. So even a year after they are all done, if I say, hey, I got another couple that I've got some that need touched up, they'll just swing through and touch them up. Okay. So when they're here to finish the rest, I'll have them go down all the Main Street ones and we'll take a look. And
I mean, it's a shame that it's doing the job. I mean, it's doing the job what
yeah.
it wanted it to do.
Yeah, no. So they'll come and spray it and finish that up. So yeah, we should be. That was one of the items we talked about at the Dubuque conference was, you know, trying to maintain the integrity of the manholes. Right now there's a push within the industry that they're wondering. Some of the engineers and the cities are wondering if more time should be spent on services and manhole structures than on the actual mains themselves as far as lining. One of the presentations that I went to, they call it blind shot lateral lining. They can actually send a rig down a sewer main and shoot a liner up a lateral, basically as far as, in some cases, 80, 90 feet if you want to, but you're in private property when you do that, because our homeowners own their service all the way to the main. But for example, the city they used as an example decided, even though it was private property, they decided to use some of their funds collected from taxpayers to line those laterals to 5 foot behind the curb, to try and, in their case, they just had, it was a river town and they didn't have so much infiltration problems, they had tree root problems because of the soil type. And they were having a lot of it, so their hope was if they lined those services to back behind the curb, if the homeowner had trouble, they weren't getting their brand new street that they had poured torn up. See, it could stay intact because they knew that service was good to 5 feet behind the, so if the homeowner needed to come and fix their end, there was no street removal or anything, and they did see an infiltration benefit from it, even though they don't have a big problem. They did see that it was helping. So, I mean, not that we need to jump on that program or anything, and just saying that's kind of where the mindset is. And they also were in the same breath saying that the manhole structures have been ignored for a long time. Everybody was convinced it was all sewer main that was causing them the problem. They ignored the manhole structure. So I think we're seeing proof of that with what we've done on manholes. So anyway, good conference, by the way. It was Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday. Everything was terrific except for the one DNR guy that stood up front and spoke monotone the entire time and read the slides verbatim. There was 25 comments before the day was over from people telling the IRWA, that people who sponsor the conference, don't ever have him back again. It was ridiculous. Anyway, on to sewer line. Wow, you got any more questions about anything else? Oh, and Chester brought it up the other day. I'm gonna wait as long as I can into the fall, I think, to have the brush pile ground. We barely have leaves yet, so I'm falling, hoping to get a bunch of them in, and then as soon as it looks like we got most of those leaves picked up for the fall, we'll see if we can get them in and sift and grind and get that ball rolling too. So sewer lining, we put it in the budget back in the spring. The quotes, I checked on them today from the two companies that we called, the two that basically are available, since we've decided not to do anything with municipal pipe anymore. Visu Sewer and HydroClean. Visu Sewer wanted his rates to go up just a speck, and he was the high guy anyway, so HydroClean said their numbers are good. They will line 8-inch pipe for $25 a foot. Step clean, televise and line for $25 a foot, and 10-inch pipe for $30 a foot. And Sharon looked into the budget. We have 80-some thousand in the lining account.
Told him 87, he can use up to 90.
Yeah, Sharon says my limit is 90, because there's money in the sewer fund too. So my opinion would be that if you guys approve it, HydroClean could actually be here in a couple weeks to line some more sewer main. So if you want to vote for it tonight, we could just say we're gonna line up to, like we did with the manholes, $90,000 worth. And according to my calculations, that's gonna get us, I bet, 90% done with all the old sewer line in town. Really close to it. So.
And that 87,000 is from the original GO bond where we did the sewer line. So that
So-
does need to be used for
Yeah, so it's been sitting there waiting to be used up, so, and they have most of their big projects done, and they actually have a lot of quotes out waiting to hear back. He said if you call back tomorrow, you get moved to the top of the list, and we'll, in 2 weeks, they'd be here cleaning and televising and measuring, so they know how much product to bring, and they could get it done. And they're substantially cheaper than Visu Sewer, basically to the tune of almost $10 a foot cheaper on both sizes, so.
So on this 87,000, is that like our manhole covers being lined and all
Right,
that
took
stuff?
that out of there.
That's already out, okay?
Well, yeah, 'cause we've already paid them for the ones on Blue Hart.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's all, I just making, that's all taken care of before you go and spend lining, and then we
Mhm.
all of a sudden we have manholes we're having to pay for.
Oh, we owe a little bit more on manholes, don't we?
A little bit, what was it?
I can't remember what that bill was they sent, cause we paid them for what
17.
they've done to
We sent-
date.
It was 17 something, we
Yeah.
said up to 25.
Yeah, so there's still 7,000 left to pay there.
Yeah.
Was that coming out of the lining fund or just out of sewer general
I
fund?
took that out of lining fund, so we still got, what, 140,000 in the regular
Yeah,
sewer
and-
fund.
Yeah,
So
so
that's why I gave them a limit of 90, because we still have enough in.
if we put another 7 worth of manhole lining on, we will use 100 out of, basically 100,000 out of an available or $220,000 in the sewer and sewer lining funds, you know, so we're still gonna have 130 roughly left to, you know, which we need to have a certain amount left in there for emergencies, whatever. So,
We have to have in those funds for what you.
That's for water.
It's just water, okay.
Because your SRF loan
That's
was
right,
only for
that's
water.
right. It was, okay.
So,
I'll make a motion that we proceed on with lining of the sewer, not to exceed Sharon's $90,000.
motion's been made by Chester. Do we have a second?
I'll second
Steve seconded it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
the only other thing I've got that's on the horizon is we talked about, a clean and inspect of the water tower. And I didn't get it on the agenda, so you really can't take action on it, but I'll be completely ready maybe by that, special. To see if, I did not get a chance to make sure all the quotes I got clear back at budget time were still good, but that was gonna be, $1,500 for KMW to come clean and inspect the inside of the tank. We talked about doing the outside, and that's like 4,000, and I was telling Chester today, you know, you can rent, an 80-foot lift for, I looked it up, it's more than I thought, it's about $2,000 to have it for a week, and we own a power washer. We could consider cleaning some of the bottom of that tank off ourselves. It's just something to think about, but we definitely need to get the inside cleaned and inspected just for water safety reasons. It's past due, it needs to be done, so.
You talking about the outside?
Yeah, I'm talking about, you know, doing the outside
Right, I
ourselves
know.
as far, yeah.
But if you take a look at it, all the dirt is down underneath the
Yeah.
bottom part of it.
Yeah.
It's the,
How far will your fire truck shoot?
We could try any of it. It's hard for me, I feel like $4,000 is a lot of money
I agree,
to
I'm just
spend
thinking,
to have
I'm
the
more
outside.
concerned about you being up in an 80-foot lift.
Oh, well, that's what they're made for. I mean, and it doesn't scare me. I don't care. That's not a
I
problem.
thought that was my thought.
Oh,
is,
yeah.
I mean, if you could hit it with a fire truck and see if it would happen to clean it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna punch a hole in the tank. If you are, we got more problems than dirt.
When was
No.
that painted?
Well,
About
or
4 years,
June 11 or 12,
So it's been,
about 4 years ago, 4 to 5.
6 or 7.
Is it 6 or 7 now? I thought you said it
First,
was
well,
in
I
11.
started, that'd be 6 years,
That's what I just said.
yeah.
So anyway, I'll look
Yeah,
into
the
the
water was
exterior,
done
but
and
by
so
that
was
special, maybe we'll throw that on. And I'll see what the interior, make sure the interior numbers haven't changed on us before we say we're gonna go ahead and do it, so.
yeah, fire, they could score with a fire truck, that'd be much of a savings.
You guys could have some little practice. Make sure you don't shoot toward houses.
The yard people on
Not this week.
No.
We gonna do the shed yet this year?
Brett keeps telling us he's coming, but I haven't seen him yet, so, yeah.
Oh, it'd be nice to get
He's
some.
working down the road, he was.
Yeah, I see him go south a lot of mornings,
He's
so.
working down at the, one of, the stud farm,
Mhm.
right next to us.
He even told Sharon, he stopped in one day and, you know, was saying, I might start buying some material, can I get paid for it as I buy it, you know, so I don't have to sit on it, and he hasn't brought a bill in yet, but that made it sound like he was coming sooner than later, so.
Are we gonna do the whole backside of that, or we just doing, okay, we gonna take them trees out?
I don't know about take him out or give him a severe haircut, one of the two.
Let's see. I say, probably be a good idea, because they're just rubbing up against it
Oh, yeah.
anyway, so.
Yeah.
This
Take
is
'em
something
out,
we need
grind
to,
'em up, and replant new ones.
Mhm.
Yeah, might take a while, but go ahead.
is this something we need to do another follow-up call to see if he's got any bills or if he's planning on getting at it?
No, I mean, would have stopped if he did, because I told him
Yeah.
fine.
I'll-
And then, and he even asked
I mean,
for
you know,
tax
just-
exempt status, so. we
Hey,
got
sometimes
that.
you just it goes on the back burner and you
Mhm.
forget. Oh, God, yeah, that's right, I
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah, no, next time I see him, I'll pump him up a little bit. I've seen him several times over the last 2 months. I haven't said anything, because I'm pretty sure he knew, but at this point, I'll say something. Say we're hoping to get it.
Well, it might be nice to get it before weather
Yeah.
sets in, and weather can set in.
He was doing a job for me, and I told him if he had bills, bring them down, don't wait,
Yeah.
turn them in right away, so he said he talked to Sharon already, that's the game plan.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm done.
Anything else for you? If not, we'll move on to resolution, 10-2017-1, transfer money from general fund to debit services.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we pass resolution 10-2017-1, the transfer of funds out of general fund to debt service. You need an amount of $60,000.
60,000,
We
okay.
agreed on last meeting.
Say what?
So that's what we agreed on last meeting, and it should cover all expenses.
Right. We
I'll
have a
second it.
Chester seconded. All those in favor again?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Did we use roll call on resolutions or what was it? No, don't have to. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, moving on to the pirate collaborative meet and greet.
Matt would like a RSVP for this by tomorrow. Does anybody plan on going? 11:30 to 1 o'clock on Monday, the 23rd. Well, that leaves me, doesn't it?
Well, I pencil me in on that.
Chester, he's retired.
There you go.
Hey, you might get lunch out of it.
You do.
Yeah.
You get lunch with the presentation.
I won't be able to make it.
Are you gonna call Ray, Sharon?
I'll call Matt tomorrow.
Tell him that I'll be there too.
Okay. Wanna go, Guy, or do you not wanna go?
I can go, that way.
I'll make 3.
Yeah.
I will call Matt tomorrow.
Okay. That's what they talked about with the school, is that what you're talking about with that,
They're pitching ideas on,
doing stuff?
to be honest, I haven't read the letter.
Yeah,
Okay,
whatever they can to try and, you know, give that program, so they're helping out the community in some way, somehow, trying to search for ideas.
okay. And then the next
Do they
one,
know if they've got the grant yet or not?
I thought they did, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
next item up is website ideas. You've got 3 of them in your pocket.
Yeah.
I talked to Kelly. Kelly's not doing it anymore, keeping up with it. We've contracted her through the year, but she doesn't have the equipment. She's got a full-time job, and she's been just kind of, as it comes up, sending them out to somebody else. So she's actually, I think we're her last customer. so she's gonna close down. And so, she said she will help get it all transferred over. So what we need to do is, I think we need to take, and we've got a year, but we need to be looking at some different places, have them get a design done. And so, one day it's there, next day we have a new one. And you just switch it over
I
just
haven't
like that.
had a chance, Kelly had mentioned Turner, which I haven't got to her yet. I talked to one today. If we had 100,000 people in the city, and that's what they're used to working with, you know, if our transit bus on this route is late, they could let you know about it. So we kind of scratched him out. Mark Neighbor had given me Big Imprint. And he called the other day, and we had a nice talk. I mean, he sat there, he said he'd already looked at our website, and he says, you know, for a city your size, it's fine, but yes, it does need to be updated a little better and everything. He would work at making it more mobile friendly. He says, you know, I would put in the minutes and the agendas and such like that. There's also, you would have a emergency notification, like on the homepage, if we had a water main break and needed something, I could post that automatically. They had news feeds where you could put in pertinent info, let's say, or if we're having the public hearing meeting and all that sort of stuff. He sent me a proposal. The setup, oh, and he said he looked at Kelly's, cause I said, and our ordinance and everything, he says they're a PDF, he could transfer them over, just easily transfer them over.
And that's where Kelly said she'd help.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to do it, she'll help. And then keep our domain name too.
Yes.
Make sure we keep our
Would do
domain
that.
name.
Yeah, they would work, they did web hosting, they backed it up every night, they have technical support, nightly backups, managed software updates, security updates, net domain name management. So his proposal was 11,000.
11,000 to make it.
Yeah. I still got Turner, the chief, to talk with, and then Hiawatha just did theirs like a year ago, and they did someone in Hiawatha, so I will also get theirs.
So if anybody knows of anybody.
Also, have you got anybody? And I also left a message, I don't know, do you know if Mike Gibbons does the website? Doesn't, or do we?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, since he does our, all security and everything, I don't know if he does it.
Just, at one time, weren't we talking at the school, we're doing some things with computers?
No, they said they took theirs out.
They did?
That was too, I mean, any kid these days can go build a website. My daughter could sit down and build a website in a few minutes and have clickable buttons and the whole works, but when it comes to being, you know, having the, you know, the security and the, you know,
Okay,
so
I
that no
just was-
one.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking community involvement's where
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
going with that.
Well,
I
and the
mean,
that's
backup
fine.
and the security and all.
Yes,
I
and
understand.
they could, you know, the school could help generate some, like, graphics or something, you know, the content for the website. If you had an event coming up, they could generate that, you know, electronic flyer to put on our website or something like that that has all the pertinent information, but they're not gonna actually be able to
It's
develop and run it.
maintaining, it's not building,
Yeah.
it's the maintaining
Yeah.
after you build
And
it.
that's why I think the
Yeah, I-
council ought to have an input on what we wanna see on it, what you would
Yeah.
wanna see on it, you
Mhm.
know,
The
and.
biggest thing is user-friendly.
Yeah.
User-friendly anymore, I tell you. I mean, maybe I'm just too old and that I haven't quite figured it all out yet, but you got some websites and I have no idea how to even navigate
Mhm.
through.
So,
Yeah, so I've got a few more, and like I've told him that I know Kelly will work with us, I says, we're getting the ideas, we're getting it in, they'll come and do presentations when we find someone that we think we'd like to have a presentation.
do it, yeah. So like I say, we got a year
Mhm.
to do it, but we shouldn't wait till the end.
And you're right about mobile-friendly.
Mhm.
Mobile friendly and that, and so. Okay. But yeah, she just, you know, with her job and all that, she's pretty much just kinda, doesn't have time to do it. So, okay, and then last one is goals.
Got the last one in.
Do you think that street looks nice? It really looks nice.
I think so too. I'm
Definitely.
tickled with how it
I
came out.
hope we can do more of it,
Mhm.
you know. And I do have something here I wanna read.
Huh?
These guys have their.
We gotta-
But
Yeah.
was that the last one? Okay.
We got a
That's
thank you
Brian's
note,
buddy
or
yesterday.
just a note from a citizen, says, "To whom it may concern, I would like to take a moment to thank those responsible for the awesome improvements to the streets of Alburnett. It is so enjoyable to drive into town on a nice smooth surface. Unfortunately, we have witnessed too many bitter cold temperatures that heave our concrete, and I am hopeful that the overlay of the blacktop will hold up for us. Thanks again." So, there's
I know, we don't get enough thank yous, that's really nice.
I know you said that.
from the, I don't know if I can say the name or not, neighbor,
Yeah, it's
from
Gene.
the,
Kent?
It's from Gene.
No, it's from Kent.
Kent neighbor.
Kent, is it?
Yeah, so,
Okay.
Next thing.
and it is, I've
Because he
heard
drives
other
through town,
comments,
but-
everybody
Yeah.
loves it, it's
Mhm.
just,
There you go.
so, hopefully we can get 10 years out of it.
It's hard not to speed, boy, when you're used to
Yeah.
driving slow for those bumps and they're not there anymore. You look down, whoa, crap, I gotta slow down.
You said that after the sheriff left, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So anyways, here's some goals, and we can write down more, whatever you guys want. Look at it, bring it to the,
Yeah. Even if you bring it to that special meeting, then I can have it tallied up before the next
yeah,
monthly
we can do
meeting.
that,
Or just drop it off sometime, or,
yeah.
and actually, go around now and take a look at each of these projects and see. Needs to be done, would nice to have done, or can wait till a later date.
One thing, I mean, I'm just gonna say, one thing that's not on here is, cleaning up the edges of the cement, like we did on Roseville.
Yeah,
We,
the color, there's yellow, where the yellow is.
Well, no, the guy who took off the mound of dirt,
Down
Yeah.
6, 8 inches
yeah,
in some
took off
spots.
6, 8 inches.
oh, you talking about along the okay,
Along the
I
curb
gotcha,
on Main
gotcha.
Street. I personally would love to see that done.
But I can
Up
do
by-
the
That's gonna
beautification.
be a real bucket of worms.
Well, I don't know if
Yeah,
it would be
could be.
enough,
Yeah,
but,
it is.
so, you got 20-some years of build-up sand, looks like crap. It's terrible, so.
Do we wanna put website on
It's on here.
this? Is it on here?
New website, online
There it
options.
is. I didn't see it.
So with that, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
Go ahead. I had it in my mind, and when you said that, something it couldn't have been too important, sorry.
I move we adjourn.
Do you have a second?
I'll second it,
All those in favor?
and I'll remember it.